For the Brazos Valley's most accurate forecast, on air and online, the KBTX Pinpoint Weather Team.
Local, trusted. This is First News at 4 on KBTX News 3.
You're watching First News at 4. Let's take a look at today's headlines. One person is believed to have major injuries after a propane tank fire at WC Tractor in Bryan this afternoon. We had a crew on scene as a PHI air medical helicopter landed and then transported the man to a hospital. The Bryan Fire Marshal tells us they are investigating a propane tank fire at a filling station. This happened on Highway 6 near Tabor Road. We've not heard details yet on the man's injuries or how the fire happened. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol met for the third time. The focus today was on President Donald Trump's efforts to convince Vice President Mike Pence to not certify the results of the November election. The committee heard taped testimony from Pence's advisors who explained the disparities between their understanding of what the law and the White House's belief that the vice president could block electoral votes. They told the committee that Vice President Pence never believed he had the authority to overturn votes and that attempting to do so would create unprecedented legal strife. We also learned that one of President Trump's lawyers, John Eastman, sent emails and text messages to Ginny Thomas, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, presumably asking about the legalities of Trump's efforts to overturn the election. The next hearing is expected Tuesday. The Aggie baseball team is getting ready for its first matchup tomorrow at the College World Series in Omaha. They arrived yesterday and have already had a first full day of practice. Joe Nugent reports from Omaha.
Michael, what do I do? The camera's on me.
Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
And just stare at you.
Texas A&M certainly keeping it light, and the Aggies were one of the first to arrive. That gave them the opportunity to practice at Bellevue East.
I've been here 6 or 7 times, and I think the sooner you can make things normal, the better off you'll be. The coaching staff here at Bellevue East has been so great to us over the years and had the field ready, so I think we were only in the hotel for about 45 minutes and put our baseball stuff on and headed out this way.
It is a team that cannot wait to play another game. They are perfect so far in the tournament, 5 for 5. First person off the Notre Dame bus, Rich Wallace, the former Creighton assistant. Notre Dame stopped at the ballpark for a quick look before heading to their hotel. For most, this is their first time inside, and you can see that appreciation, soaking it in. The Sooners are back in Omaha for the first time since 2010. Oklahoma went through 2 national seeds and are one of 4 teams to make it here without playing a single home game. Auburn was the last to arrive in town.
Every kid dreams of coming here, and every kid dreams of winning the College World Series, and so just be able to have the chance to compete here is going to be awesome.
Now, the Aggies will play Oklahoma tomorrow. First pitch is set for 1 p.m. KBTX's Morgan Weaver and Abigail Metz are in Omaha. They will have coverage today on Live at 5. And speaking of Nebraska, hopefully Aggie fans and the team will have a little better weather, but it can be pretty hot and humid up in the Midwest this time of year, so not a whole lot of relief, I guess, Max, for those fans.
Exactly, Clay. The good news is they're used to the heat by now, and that is plenty of what they will see going into Friday. We might find a couple of showers and storms here locally, but that high pressure we've been talking about for the past week is going to be centered closer to Omaha by the time we get to the end of the weekend. So Friday is probably going to be the coolest, and you see up there at the top of your screen 95 degrees. So it's going to be toasty this weekend in Omaha and into next week, too. Back to state news. Drought Monitor came out this afternoon. It is not fantastic news, not only for us, but for most of the state of Texas. We'll get a closer look at that here in our area in just a minute. 98 degrees, our temperatures as you step outside right now, but a chance for some rain in the not-too-distant future. We'll get your pinpoint forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Max. It's that time of year again. School's out, and for many families in the Brazos Valley, that means food insecurity. To help, KBTX is teaming up with the Brazos Valley Food Bank to help eliminate summer hunger. Every Thursday this month, the KBTX team is broadcasting live from one of the 6 food drive locations across the area. Today, the effort takes us to Brookshire Brothers Grocery on George Bush Drive. News 3's Connor Bean is live.
Yeah, Clay, as you can see behind me, we're actually doing pretty good on donations. And the good thing about Brookshire Brothers, they make it really easy for you. You can just buy one of these brown bags of hope. They're $10. You don't have to do any shopping. Just buy the bag and just put it right here in the box. Also, the good thing about being here at Brookshire Brothers, while you're here doing your grocery shopping, while you're buying your stuff, just pick up an extra can of corn or extra box of cereal and drop them off in the box on your way out. And it's really important right now because 1 out of 5 households with children in the Brazos Valley are facing hunger-related issues. Not getting enough food to a child trying to grow and develop would have effects not only right now, but well into their future.
It impacts how physically and socially and emotionally active they can be. So adversely, if they weren't properly nourished, they could suffer and have setbacks because they have lower energy, they have less ability to concentrate.
Schools play a crucial role of feeding children, providing them 2 square meals a day. Coming up at 5, we'll tell you how badly your donations are needed now that school's out for the summer. Live in College Station, Connor Bean, News 3.
The baby formula shortage continues. This time, it's the weather that's causing problems. Flooding forced Abbott Nutrition to stop production at a baby formula factory in Sturgis, Michigan. The factory had just reopened after being closed for several months, creating even more headaches for parents struggling with the formula shortage.
Abbott is working to assess the damage today, and we'll be talking daily, and we have our people in the facility to help get it up as quickly as we possibly can.
Now coming up, rain chances could be on the way. Max has your full forecast after the break. Plus, we'll take you back out to Brookshire Brothers Grocery where our summer hunger food drive continues. Our focus today is on hunger. All month long, we've been telling you about the need for fresh produce and canned goods, especially as schools remained closed for the summer break. Connor Bean is at Brookshire Brothers Grocery, where people have been dropping off food supplies all afternoon. Hi, Connor.
The Brazos Valley Food Bank has been helping families in the area for years, but today they're asking for help from you. I'm here with Brazos Valley Food Bank Executive Director Teresa Mangapora. Teresa, thank you so much for joining us today here at Brookshire Brothers. Yeah. So explain to us why summer is such a critical time for these donations.
Well, so we live in a university town, and so a lot of people do leave the area. That includes our volunteers, the folks that normally do food drives for us, but also monetary donations. And you know, everything's been weird for a couple of years already, so add that on top of that, and summer's just difficult. I mean, if your child gets meals at school, that's no longer available to them. So it's a lot of factors all at once. And the heat is not helping.
And I know you guys will take any donations y'all can give. What type of food do you think you guys need the most at the food bank?
Well, so there's always items that are really, really popular for all the food pantries. And so one of the main ones is peanut butter, which I know might be a little weird because there's been a recall. So, you know, check your peanut butter. Don't get us any recalled Jif, but peanut butter still is really important. Most kids like it unless they have a food allergy. Most adults like it. It's inexpensive to donate and it's versatile. Beans are also that same way. Kids may not like the beans as much, but the parents can do a lot with beans and rice, casseroles. It's a good side. It's a good source of protein. But then pasta, cereal, and this is going to sound weird coming from me, but regular vegetables in a can, like corn and green beans. I normally do not have to ask for that, but with the supply chain issues, we don't have corn and green beans available all the time, and most kids like those as well. So kind of just the things that you would normally think of, but we'll take anything that you can donate at this time.
I know everything is more expensive nowadays, from gas to food. How has inflation really impacted you guys at the food bank?
So, you know, we don't buy food every month, every week, but we do buy it every quarter. We're about to do a big order right now, and the prices are more expensive because those prices include freight. And for food banks that are going to get food from another part of the country or another part of the state, that freight cost is a lot more than we're used to. So we're seeing it there. What we're hearing from the food pantries is that from this time pre-pandemic, or even this time just last year, they're seeing 20% more people in the line. So to me, that's telling me that the individual families, households in our area are feeling it much worse than the food bank is. So we really want to do our best to have food at the food pantries.
And what are you guys doing to make sure these donations get to the families that need it the most?
So, you know, our food pantries are across the Brazos Valley. We have at least one food pantry in every area. They order and they are open when they can be, and so those donations go directly to them, which means they go directly to the people in need. So as soon as we can get these and get them sorted, they will be on the shelves at a food bank or at a food pantry for people to access.
And real quickly, what would you say to someone that really wants to come and donate to you guys?
Well, don't think about it, do it. I know that sounds silly, but we all often say, oh, it'd be a good idea, or we should do this. You know, please do it. places like Brookshire's are making it so easy for you. You don't even have to figure out what to give. Grab a bag, do your shopping, and you've definitely helped a family right then and there. And everybody has to go grocery shopping, so please just buy an extra bag. It really does help.
Well, Teresa, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thanks for all you're doing for our community. We'll have a lot more with Live at 5 and News 3 at 6. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, like Teresa said, the heat, it's not really helping. And the heat and the dry air has been a pain, especially across the southwestern portions of the Brazos Valley. One of the categories that we talk about on the Drought Monitor and the two colors that we do not like to see, the extreme and then exceptional drought. We don't have to worry about that just yet, but for the first time since at least about 4 or 5 months, we have that extreme drought category that's sneaking back in closer to I-10. Folks in southern Austin and Waller County, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about because y'all are hurting for some rain. The rest of us are too. Still some abnormally dry and just out of that drought category completely in a couple of areas, but as we progress through the next couple of weeks, we will probably see more color on that map. Also going in step with that, more and more counties being added to the burn ban list. Just because you're not on here does not mean that you shouldn't be very, very careful about that. Fortunately, it's not nearly as windy as it has been the past couple of days, so the danger for wildfire spread's not as high as it was, but again, it is very dry out there. Very tender, very hazy. Also, Thursday is probably where we're going to see the highest concentration. That's through this afternoon. I think still pretty hazy into Friday. Saharan dust will slowly but surely work its way out of the area, kind of filter out of the skies. And if we can get some rain tomorrow, that'll really help with that too. Here's the latest infrared satellite imagery from the tropics, Western Caribbean, what we're looking at. And really what we're just seeing is a bunch of afternoon convection out there. There is very little organization. The National Hurricane Center continues to downgrade that potential for development. And like we told you most of this week, it looks like all this tropical activity is going to stay to our south. Might find a new hurricane, though, on the other side in the eastern Pacific. We've still got Blaze out there as a Category 1. Those will both continue to move westward. And again, that big high pressure system centered over the eastern United States really just keeps all that moisture to our south. And in summers like this, oftentimes we rely on that tropical moisture to get us some needed rain. So we'll see what happens as we get closer to the end of the month. But here's our next shot. There's a weak disturbance, and we're seeing some pop-up showers and thunderstorms across the state of Louisiana. I'm thinking that we could find a similar setup as we go into tomorrow afternoon as we start our weekend. That high pressure moves off to the north and to the west, at least as far as the upper level high goes. And we might see a couple of weak disturbances sneak in there as we go through the next couple of days. I think particularly for Friday and Saturday. Model blend is in step with that too. I think particularly along and east of Highway 6 is where we will see the highest coverage tomorrow. But again, about a 30% shot. I think still ought to do it right now. It's not for all of us, but something to continue to watch as we go through the next couple of days. This version of the pinpoint forecast not quite as bullish as what it has been, but again, I think it's still a good idea to prep for that just in case Friday and then into Saturday as well. A lot of that may stay just to our north and east for Saturday, and again, small chance for some stray showers on Sunday too. 98 degrees where we sit in the meantime, a heat index not too different from the temperature again, so we're working with a little bit of a drier heat, but with that disturbance rolling through, we'll keep a little bit more humidity here in the lower levels of the atmosphere. So tomorrow the heat index may end up checking in a little bit hotter around quitting time. 104 what it feels like right now in Anderson, and 105 in Trinity as we go into tonight. We'll see if we can get down to about 75. I've got my doubts about that because we've been waking up near about 80 degrees for the past couple of days. But Friday afternoon, we'll get to about 99 degrees or so. Isolated afternoon showers and a couple of thunderstorms will be a possibility. So again, keep that in mind as you start your weekend plans. Hanging out by the pool Saturday into Father's Day. It is likely going to just be hot and dry for you. But again, a couple stray showers and thunderstorms possible. We roll into what is the almost first full week of officially summer, and it sure does look like it. Highs near 100, overnight lows near 80 degrees.
Thank you very much, Max. After the break, we'll talk live with Alyssa Krager with Brookshire Brothers Grocery about their effort to end hunger during our summer hunger food drive. And as we go to break, here's what's coming up at the Queen Theater.
KBTX News 3 is available on Fire TV. Download the app today.
You're watching First News at 4 on KBTX.
Brookshire Brothers Grocery on George Bush Drive has been our partner today as we work alongside the Brazos Valley Food Bank to end hunger through our Summer of Hunger food drive. Connor Bean is live at the store this afternoon to introduce us to someone who's made today's drive a success. Connor?
Yeah, Clay, we're in week 3 of our Summer Hunger Food Drive, and we're right here at Brookshire Brothers. And I'm actually joined here with Melissa Craig. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us.
We're glad you guys are here.
Absolutely. So you guys have only been around for about a year and some change. Why did you agree to kind of host a food drive and get involved with the community?
Sure. So we've been here at our College Station location for a year, but we've been in the Brazos Valley for decades. And so Brookshire Brothers, at our core, obviously we're a grocery company. We believe in feeding people. And so being a part of something like this that we know will help so many people and affect so many lives every summer, it just made a lot of good sense.
And what does battling hunger mean for Brookshire Brothers?
Sure. So obviously we're here to sell groceries, but we want to make sure that kids are fed, that people are fed, because when they're fed, they can do great things and we can all be in good community with one another. So doing something like this, being a part of something like this, utilizing our partnerships just really helps get the word out and helps more people.
Now this bin is full up today. What does it mean for you guys to kind of see people come in and just drop off some groceries on their way out?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. We have our brown bags of hope, like you talked about earlier, that makes it super easy for people. Obviously, they can just walk around the store. We're just trying to make it easy for people to donate.
Yeah, I want to talk about these brown bags of hope. I would pick one up, but it's very heavy. I don't want to drop it. So this thing has everything that someone will need for to feed a family, right?
Sure. So it's enough food to feed a family of 4. There's different varieties. There's our spaghetti bags, there's multi-meal bags, there's just standard bags that have things like pasta and canned goods, things like peanut butter and crackers. Super easy. Just pick one up. They're right at the front door and drop it off. Pay your $10 and you're good to go.
Yeah, and you'll make it really easy. People don't have to shop. Like if you just want to come in here and just do something good, you can just come in here, buy a brown bag of hope, $10 just out the door. And it makes it pretty easy for you guys too, since this is a grocery store. People can just buy the extra bag of cereal, extra can of corn, just drop it off, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Just pick, if you're gonna get some green beans for your family, just pick up one more, put it in your basket, and then you can put it in the bin. Brown Bags of Hope is a program we've done for several years. You can do it not only here at College Station, but at any of our Brookshire Brothers stores, especially those in Brazos Valley.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you for everything y'all are doing to feed the children of the Brazos Valley. We're going to send things right back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Connor, and thank you, Brookshire Brothers. Speaking of food, how's this for technology? A butcher shop in Sacramento has created a fresh meat vending machine. Sacramento butcher Eric Miller has been dealing with the same staffing and supply chain shortages the rest of us have endured. His answer, a self-help vending machine for cuts of fresh meat. It's basically a big temperature-controlled fridge. The meat is cut and packaged in ahead of time in the shop, then placed inside the machine for customers to choose. Customers tap the type of meat they want and how much of the pre-packaged weights, swipe a card, and leave with meat. Let's take a live eye look outside. We'll be right back after the break.
It's all about people, it's all about home. Working together, loving our own. From country roads to our city streets, it's the neighbors we love and the new ones we meet. KBTX, the very best we can give. We're here where you need us, here where you live. See life the way that you choose. Oh, yeah. News 3, this is your news. KBTX, it's the time that we share. It's for you, it's for me. People who care. Brazos Valley, this is for you. News 3, this is your news.
Treat of the Day is sponsored by Smith Dairy Queens.
We want to congratulate congratulate William Billy Goodwin. Earlier this month, he was promoted from sergeant to lieutenant of the Madisonville Police Department. Goodwin retired from the Texas City Police Department after 22 years and has been with Madisonville PD for about a year and a half. Lieutenant Goodwin will be in charge of investigations, property and evidence, the Patrol Division, Traffic Unit Division, Code Enforcement, and the Animal Control Division.
Sounds like that promotion's got a lot of new responsibilities.
Lots of work, but very important work too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you got a treat, we want to know about it. Log on to KBTX.com. Look for a treat of the day under the features category. You ready for more heat, Clay?
I think so. That's what's in store, right?
Yes, very much so. It is 98 degrees right now. We'll see what our new 5 o'clock temperature brings, but guys, you know this. It's hot out there. Heat index is right at about 100 degrees, so it's a somewhat drier heat, but obviously still take care of yourself type of weather, because we have got plenty more where that came from. Lows tonight, again, about 75 or so. If that is the case, that will be the coolest morning that we've had all week. I believe it, because it's not going to be quite as breezy out there by the time you wake up tomorrow, so that should allow us to cool us down ever so slightly. But Friday, still near 100 degrees. Here we are. As we step outside a little bit closer to work time, it'll likely be in the low 80s. Sun comes out very quickly. However, some isolated downpours are going to be a possibility as we head into our Friday. Highs still right around 100 degrees, probably a little bit warmer than that as you go west of the Brazos, but again, about 100 for all of us. And this is a look at what the radar could look like by the time we get to Friday afternoon. Probably better coverage of rain and thunderstorms off to the east of the state of Texas, but I am still keeping my fingers crossed that locally at least a few of us can get blessed with some showers and a couple storms. Friday is probably our best overall chance. High pressure is going to move off to the north and west, and just in case you missed it, you got some folks that are headed to Omaha. That first game will probably be at about 95 by the time we get to the 6th or 7th inning of that Aggies versus Sooners game. So it's going to be toasty, but they are used to it. Again, AC is going to run all the way through the week, but we might get a little bit of a break tonight if we get down to about 75.
All right, thank you very much, Max. That's our time for First News at 4. Thank you for watching. We'll have much more local news in 30 minutes or anytime at KBTX.com. Inside Edition is next.